Okay, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Spanish 111 to you. I actually teach 3 sections. I have Spanish 111 FJT04, Spanish 111 FN03, and Spanish 111 FJT05. Okay, so I'm only going to make this video once for all of your classes. So if you see me pull up any like class codes and stuff, just make sure you're getting them from your actual Moodle site, not from the video, okay? Okay, so I should have already introduced, I have another video that introduces myself. So if you watch this, you'll find out who I am. And then this video is going to go right here. It's going to be an introduction just to the class. If you are in the FJT05 or FJT04 class, just make sure that you attend class by the census date, which should be on the syllabus. It's either, I think for all 3 of you guys, it's actually January the 16th. So just make sure if you're in the face-to-face class, you've attended class by then. And if you're in the online class, you have to complete an online assignment by then. And I should have some up at the top, like verify your enrollment and the academic integrity quiz that you'll want to complete. And I'm going to make these, I'm going to get rid of these for my face-to-face classes. You don't need to do those, okay? One of the first things you're going to want to do is watch this video, which tells you how to set yourself up in my language labs. My language labs is, it's basically like, I don't know, it's third-party software that we use, but I basically use activities from there, so it's like your workbook, but it can also be your textbook. So I'll go into my language labs in a little bit. So if you don't want to buy the text, which looks like this right over here, that's fine. You can use the e-text, and you can actually put it on a tablet if you want, and I think you might even can use it from your phone at this point. So if you choose not to buy it, just make sure you're bringing some sort of way to access your text so that you have it in class if you need it. All right, and then, okay. Also, if you scroll down here, you'll see a 2-week temporary access code for Pearson. So if you don't have access to Pearson yet and you're having trouble getting it, you can use the code in here to set yourself up in Pearson. But then within 2 weeks' time, you're going to still have to purchase access to Pearson. And this video right here will tell you what to do when your temporary code expires and you've actually gone and purchased your own. Okay, and I can answer some of these questions in class as well. So the way that the class is set up is that you have, it's going to be set up by weeks, and most of the weeks are going to be pretty similar. At the beginning of each week, and I'm still working on these, so if you're looking way in advance, the videos will go over the right information, but the dates will be wrong because they'll be from last semester. But there'll be a video that introduces you to the week. So I suggest looking at them because if I have a quiz or a test that week, I usually go over it in this video. So you're actually going to do better if you look at the video. I'll also tell you the pages to study and what our objective for the week is and when your assignments are due. Most of your assignments, unless it's something that we're doing in class, like a test, for my face-to-faces everything's going to be due on Thursday, and for my online class, everything is going to be due on Thursday unless otherwise stated. Sometimes when we get down to the finals week, because finals are not, you know, I don't really have control when the finals are due by, or I may have like another assignment due right. So just in that last week, the date may change, but for the most part, everything is always due on Thursday. Okay. And then you're going to see your assignments listed below. One assignment that will go on repeatedly is the participation forum. And I always have these links, if I open them up, these hyperlinks. They go over their videos in which I discuss all the information that you need to know for the week. So if you're in a face-to-face class, we're probably going to go over most of this in class. So this is just review for you. Like maybe we're going over numbers and I didn't go over it. I don't know, you just didn't get it the first time, then you're going to have this video. You can watch it again as many times as you would like. If you're in my online class, this is the only way that I'm teaching you, and so you have to watch these videos. So after you've watched the videos or attended class, if you're a face-to-face student, then you're going to need to go out to the class participation forum, click on the thread, and post any questions or concerns you have about the information covered either in class or in the videos, or you can post any other questions that are concerns you have about the class. The only thing is if you have an immediate concern regarding an assignment, like maybe you were trying to do an assignment for me and you didn't know how to do it, I wouldn't just post it there, because I usually just go into those threads. I usually go into them, like if your assignment's due on Thursday, I start looking at them on Friday. And so if you had a question about how to complete a homework assignment, I might be seeing it a little too late. So if you do have a question about that, I would suggest either texting me through the Remind app, which I'll point out in a minute, or sending me an email. You're going to get a more immediate response that way. So each week is going to be set up like that. And again, there's going to be videos at the top that tell you how, like, what the work is and how to complete it for each week. And then there's also going to always be these little books that have videos that go over the material covered in class, which is good if you missed class, or if you're online and that's the only way you're getting information from me. Okay. And also, so like you may have at some point, where do we have one? Okay, sometimes we're going to have oral dialogues as well. For the preparation for these, we're going to do workshops, and I think they're fairly self-explanatory, but when you're doing an oral dialogue, that's where you're actually going to be making a recording. You will want to look at any videos that I post. I'll have multiple ways for you to make your recording, so just make sure you're looking at any videos that I post. They're there to help you do an assignment, okay? And if you don't post in the participation forms, it's a 0, and it's an easy grade, so I never let you make those up, because I feel like, I mean, you can, if you don't have any questions or concerns about the information covered in the week you're in, you can put that. I have no questions or concerns about the material covered in class, but you have to post something. If you don't post anything, you'll get a 0. Okay. All right, so other stuff that's in the site besides the work. Okay, over on the right-hand side, you're going to see my information. There's a link to my blog. In that blog, that's just where I post like some extra resources, so you might want to check that out. This gives you my phone number and extension. This tells you my office hours. I am not just at Jamestown. I do travel. I have to teach at Cameron and at High Point as well. I'm usually traveling on Tuesday, Thursday, so it's harder to get me actually in my office. So you might want to, use email to get in touch with me. Also, I have the Remind app. So if you, and look at that on your site, it'll give you a number that you can text to this number, and then that will allow you to, for you to send text to me without us having to share our phone number, okay? This is our textbook. Here's a copy. There's 2 copies of the syllabi. This says PDF, but I think I left it as a Word document. You can open that up and get a hard copy of the syllabus. It's also in the Moodle book if you prefer to look at it that way. This gives you rubrics for how I grade your orals and your writing, but it's also embedded in those assignments. So if you're doing a writing assignment or you're doing a speaking assignment, you're going to see the rubric actually in the assignment. So you don't have to look at it here. The only time you might want to is before class gets started. This is the course calendar. It should be in the syllabus as well. Hopefully this is the most current one. And that needs to be fixed. Ignore that right there. It is for all of your classes, so it'll just tell you what we're doing when. And I do need to I'm going to update it. The dates are right except for the final at this point, but I'll have that fixed. And this just takes you into the grade book, and this lets us, if we wanted to do a virtual meeting, we can use the big blue button. These are resources. The top ones are school, like tutoring and CLEP, etc. Right here, if My Language Labs is our third-party software. If you have any trouble with My Language Labs, this is the number that you would want to call. This takes you to My Language Labs. This is a video again that tells you how to set yourself up, which I also had at the top of the page. This is the code for the FJTO4 class. For the other 2 classes, look on your Moodle site. It'll give you a code. you have to buy access to my language labs, but then you need this code to actually gain access to my personal class. And this tells you how to set up your e-text, or it's a link to get an app so you can have your e-text on your phone. Here, people often ask, how can I make accent marks in Moodle? This video tells you how to set up an international, or not an international, but like a Spanish keyboard. And this has the codes that you would use when you're in the Spanish keyboard to make those symbols. I can't think of anything else that I need to go over with you guys. In Moodle, let's look at my language labs. So my language labs looks like this. Once you get yourself set up, the assignments will be on the calendar. Like I said, most are going to be on Thursday. I want our stuff due on Thursday. Right here is your e-text. So, okay. So you have an e-text, which I just clicked on, should be coming up. It's a little slow to come up, so we'll come back to that in just a minute. You also have a glossary, so if you need to look up words, that's like a built-in dictionary. You have a verb chart. If you want to look up how to conjugate verbs, you can use that. But basically, you'll come out here and click on the, actually don't click on the calendar. Click on the assignments and either click the course calendar or the to-do list. If you just click on the calendar, you're only going to see a few things, even though there's more assignments, and I'm not even sure. Okay, it looks like it does let you in. But to make sure that you're completing everything, I would go into the course. All right, it looks like if you click on it, it does that as well, but you can go into the course calendar, and it will pull that up as well. Whoops. And you can click on each assignment. You can do them as many times as you would like to get the best grade possible before the due date. So you should get 100 on everything, so you can keep redoing it. And I think my language labs will eventually give you the right answer. They give you helpful hints. But if you've done it like 3 times and you're still getting a poor grade, then I would reach out to me, because you're missing something in the directions. Like you're doing something, like there's something you're just not getting right, and you're going to need help with it. You shouldn't do it more than 3 times, because if you can't get it after 3 times, then I don't think you're going to get it on the 4th or the 5th or the 6th. You're just going to keep banging your head against a wall. So let's see if that book came up. Yeah, so this is what the textbook looks like. Okay, so it's like an e-text version, and you can just flip through the pages. And you can I think type in the pages that you would like to go to. It might be in the search button. This looks a little different than they've changed it up a little bit. I wonder if you can type in, or you can even type in a topic, and then it'll pull up all the different places, and you can click on it. But anyway, so this is your e-text, so you can just use this either on the computer or on your tablet, so you don't have to buy a textbook, and that should save you some money. And I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know for Spanish 111.